Hey everybody, welcome in or welcome back to the channel. It's Miss Tarot, and as promised, I am back today with a pick a card reading. And the theme for today is what you are not seeing yet. So things that are right in front of you that Spirit is gently poking you to say, hey, pay attention. This is what I have in store for you. Okay. Also, this is if you had seen the post earlier this last weekend about the 3 prize giveaway that I am doing for subscribers and for people who comment, I am going to give away 3 different prizes. The first one is going to be a free personal reading with myself that it can be done online. Obviously, if you are in my area, I'd love to do it in person, but the odds are against that you are living very close to me. So we'll probably have to do it over Zoom or something like that, or Google Meet. And number 2 will be a tarot deck that I absolutely adore, but feel the need to pass on. And number 3 will be a little packet of crystals of my own personal collection sent out to you. Okay, so in order to be eligible for these, please subscribe to the channel and comment down below which pile you chose and what part of the reading resonated best with you. Okay, now without further ado, we have the 3 piles in front of you to choose. And we are going to, you could choose it a couple ways. You can choose which pile just basically resonates with you, the color, the crystal, or even the chakra, depending on which area of the body is affected. Okay, so for pile 1, we have your solar plexus chakra, and that is orange aventurine. For your heart chakra, we have the green aventurine, and for the 3rd pile, pile 3, we have red jasper with your sacral chakra. Okay, so take a moment to see which stone/pile speaks best to you, and I will see you at your reading in just a moment. See ya! So for you, pile 1, welcome to your pile. Welcome to your reading. We, in front of you, have the following. Obviously your pile, and we will be using the Soul's Journey lesson cards. I am going to also use the Wild Unknown Tarot with you, and we also have some additional oracle cards and messages from your spirit guides, just to kind of wrap it up. Okay, so we are again going to go with things that you are not seeing that Spirit feels called to bring your attention to. Okay, balance is what we have in terms of your overall energy. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So this could be you needing to bring balance into your life, or this could be that you bring balance and how that is going to affect you and others. We also have encouragement with the number 54. That's awesome. Okay. So let is get rolling. Let's get rolling. So let's pay attention to the balance card really quick. Obviously balance is, like it states, a state of perfect harmony in your world. And it brings about a sense of stability and wholeness into every area of your life. Obviously, sometimes when you look at a situation very objectively, you will resonate with one side or the other. But I think the encouragement here also is that try not to view anything as good or bad, but simply recognize it for what it is. The true nature of the scales, so to speak, the balance of the scales, is to give both sides of any situation your objective perspective. And that can be obviously really, really hard. But in order for us to maintain balance, there's always going to be a light side and a dark side. And if it's anything that the universe has ever taught us, is that the balance will always be maintained. If we go one way, it goes another way. The pendulum's always swinging, and it always needs to meet dead center. So if there is something in your life right now that is pulling you one way or another out of alignment, there is encouragement here for you to get back into what makes you feel balanced, what makes you feel whole. And then when it comes to your encouragement card, it's just a gentle nudge that you are in the right direction. So this card tells you that you're being encouraged to step into your power, into the dream of your life. So new things, it's telling you that new things are out there to be explored, and the power of the universe is trying to push you into that direction. So just, you're on the right path. That is exactly what it's trying to tell you. Just keep going. If you are somebody who is either in balance and maybe things still don't feel quite right, it's telling you to just keep going. You're on the right path. And if this is your main focus, something that you have wanted to find in your life right now, this is the nudge from Spirit saying, yes, you are on the right path. If you are even second guessing yourself in terms of which way you're going to get this balance for yourself, just absolutely take our word for it. You are on the right path. Keep going. Okay? All right. So let's get some more information from the tarot. I just blew up my candle. It never freaking fails. Sigh. Okay. Tell me about what else needs to be known. What do you want to tell them? What is this encouragement? Okay. Anything else? Okay. That sounds good. That sounds like enough, right? Okay. So we have the 9 of Wands. Okay. The 5 of Wands. Wow. The 8 of Swords. The Emperor. The 3 of Pentacles. Gotta love to see it. The 9 of Cups. And Justice. Wow. Okay. So what does this mean for you? Take a second to make sure everything is in frame. Can you all see it? Yes, I think you can. Cool. All right. So let's start with the 9 of Wands. Okay. Do I want to start with the 9 of Swords? Actually, you know what? I feel really called to start with the 8 of Swords. With this card, it sometimes makes you feel kind of trapped and powerless. And this card is all about perceptions. This card is letting you know, and this is right along lines with the encouragement card too. This is pretty much telling you, Spirit telling you that you're the only person who is keeping you from opening your wings here. So this is a little butterfly. He's obviously still trying to be in that cocoon format because he doesn't feel safe to blossom and fly away. The 8 of Swords is letting you know that you can't stay in this setting. So if this has to do with balance, you can't, and you're out of balance and out of alignment right now, you cannot stay. This is not a sustainable path for you to be on. There is a way out. There are choices. What you have to just really pay attention to, what is keeping you suspended here? Is it yourself or is it others? Think of it as kind of like the minor arcana version of the Devil card. It has a lot to do with us keeping ourselves in restraint and really not understanding or realizing our full potential. Okay. Now when it comes to like, what do I want to say here? The 9 of Swords. I'm sorry. And I apologize. It's actually the 9 of Cups here. When I want to talk about the 9 of Cups, this has a lot to do with wishes coming true. This has to do with worries and fears being cast away, that recognizing a new phase of peace and harmony awaits. And it's kind of like that wish fulfillment. And if there is something that you are wishing for in terms of the balance, it's definitely something where it's asking you to take charge, okay? Because we do have the Emperor card here. And the Emperor card is all about taking control, taking charge. He is somebody who is very much in control of his own domain, his own realm. And he's not afraid to go to battle. You know what I mean? He is not somebody who shies away from a conflict. And it's funny that we talk about that, because when it comes to conflict and alignment and being in balance, we have the Five of Swords here, or I'm sorry, the Five of Wands here. And the Five of Wands is always something that has to do a little bit with conflict. I mean, most wands are, I'm sorry, not most wands. I cannot talk today. Most fives are. And this one has to do more with like you not being able to, it's like being scattered. It's like there's too much of everything to do and nothing gets done. We're just spinning our wheels. We have this fulfillment of hopes and dreams, and we want to work on it, but it feels like nothing we do is gaining traction. And your energy is definitely moving outward in a good direction, but for whatever reason inside, it feels like there's conflict. There's conflict residing within you. Definitely find a way to bring some calm and focus to your mind, or these troubles are only going to continue. Okay. So it's funny that we have both of these together, because I think they're definitely in alignment with keeping you from achieving your much needed sense of balance that you are looking for. Okay. So let's go on to something a little bit happier. The Justice card. I love the Justice card, especially this one, because it's got the cute little kitties on it. The Justice card, oh, of course, a big fat truck is going by. Lovely. The Justice card. The Justice is all about getting something as to what is due to you, right? The Justice card speaks to fairness, and it also speaks to balance. If you're looking at this card right now with these cute little kitties and their tails are intertwined, they're waiting for you to choose between them, right and wrong, which way to jump. There could sometimes be, it could sometimes imply like a weight or heaviness surrounding a choice you have to make, but it's definitely an encouragement to rise to the divine balance or karma. All of your choices are always going to affect your life, and sometimes those of others, both now and in the future. And it's asking you to not only choose wisely, but to understand that what is coming due to you in terms of this balance that you seek is absolutely due to the choices that you make. So are you making the decisions to bring you into balance and alignment and harmony, or are you actively working against it? That's something that you're definitely going to have to ask yourself and utilize that eight of swords energy to kind of see what is trapping you and what is not. So now what we have here kind of at the center of the reading is the Three of Pentacles. And this has a lot to do with teamwork, determination, your focus, sometimes the task ahead, especially when it comes to bringing balance into your life. It's not going to be without loss. It's not going to be without cutting things out that can be painful because they need to go. Sometimes this can be related to a job or a career, but the Three of Pentacles is about suggesting that you focus your efforts. So, really relying on your own discipline, your strategy, and hard work more than ever. And this is also, like I said, a card of teamwork. So if you're running out of steam, it's encouraging you to rely on others to kind of tame that problem. You know what I mean? There very well might be others out there who think like you or are going through something very, very similar that you can either learn from or collaborate with, or just straight up absolutely utilize instead of teamwork, just really understanding and relying on the fact that you are capable and able to focus your soul attention to things that are going to work in your favor, remembering to get out of this type of mentality. So the Nine of Swords the Nine of Wands. I'm just getting everything mixed up today. The Nine of Swords, Wands, is about strength, stamina, and confidence. And as you know, as nines usually imply, your journey is near completion and you're kind of on the final stretch, right? But this is, in the typical tarot decks, it's kind of the battle weary soldier. You're definitely getting weary. Doubt and fear can kind of overwhelm your mind, and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that this is, and it's funny since it's right next to encouragement, because this is something to kind of rally your confidence and make you realize how far you've come. You really need to kind of lift your eyes and take a few more steps, because all of your hard work is about to pay off in massive dividends, okay? And the work that you're doing to bring yourself into balance is just going to be its own rewarding journey, right? Because once you're in balance, it's just like, okay, I've achieved it. Now, how do I stabilize it? How do I keep it, right? So let's see here. Your overall message, it really does seem to think that you need some balance and harmony in your life. And if that's something that you're working towards, pretty much Spirit is saying, yes, this is what you very much need in your life. You absolutely know and are 100% correct. Now, remove these obstacles and get in your own dang power, person, is kind of what they're saying. They're pretty much saying you're the only person that's holding yourself back from this balance. You know what you need to cut. I just want a couple more cards for advice. That's cool. Thank you. 3 is good. What are we in store for? We're in store for the Star. We are in store for the Ace of Wands and the Son of Cups. I think that's cute. The Son of Cups. I think that is definitely that. The Son of Cups in this deck is cute because it's the page. But let's go to the Star first, because the Star is one of my absolute most favorite cards in the deck. It comes right after the Tower, and it's something about never giving up hope. And even though you can't find concrete answers within life, there's still this comfort in knowing that you are being divinely protected. You're divinely guided. And it's about connecting to the part of yourself that is hopeful and serene. This is definitely that kind of force that's going to bring the light and balance back into your life and really infuse you with positivity. This is an absolutely lovely card to get in terms of advice. Not everything is going to have a concrete answer, but you just don't give up hope. The light is at the end of the tunnel. Just keep working towards your highest good. We keep working towards those balance, and just understand and trust in the divine that this is going to be an extremely positive turnaround for you and your life. Okay. Do I want to go with the Son of Cups, or should I go with the Ace of Wands? I'm always down with the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is kind of a big deal. And when I say a big deal, I kind of think of, it's like sparks flying to me. It's an extremely high energy card, and it indicates a lot of new growth that's all around you. So you've got nothing but beautiful advice and clarity with these 3 cards that came out. We've already looked at what you need to know, what Spirit is trying to what Spirit wants to tell you, and what might be seemingly hidden. My goodness. But this is along with hope. Think of it as like a very fertile time. And it's definitely thrilling and throwing all your positive energy towards like this new journey. But it does indicate that your judgment is needed more than ever, and not to rush into things. Really make sure it's something that aligns with your balance, what your hope and wishes are in terms for, harmonizing yourself. Because remember, the Justice card is literally here telling you to make wise decisions. Okay. And then, of course, not last but least, but we come to the Son of Cups. And the Son of Cups like I was saying before, is the page. And, you know, like all the cups family, you know, this has a lot to do with your natural ability to look inward, and there's a lot of charm there and mystique. And you know, while I do think that this kind of is representative of you, because you know, to others you may seem very secretive or even peaceful, there's like this intensity within you, and I think that you are trying to match your outer with your inner is kind of what I'm saying. And you know, this is a visionary type person. You got to just see it and visualize it, and it's going to come to you. So that's kind of the main messages that I have for those advice. Okay, and then we got these two cards for you, the last part of the deck. We have Awakening, a realization, shift, or discovery. Yes, absolutely. It is coming. That wish card, that star card is going to usher you into more balance. Hey, maybe you're just going to get this like epiphany, like aha moment. Who knows? And then we have Pioneer with the number 19. Independence and self-sufficiency are necessities to you. You are extremely capable in life and aren't afraid to take big risks to achieve the life you desire. You are a pioneer. Yes, absolutely. Well, Pile 1, I hope this reading resonated with you. Make sure to take a moment to subscribe, and also comment down below if you chose this pile and what part of this resonated with you, if any. And hey, you know what? If none of it, maybe this isn't your pile. Maybe check out 2 or 3. But either way, I'm going to leave this here with you. Thank you so much for being here. Comment and subscribe in order to be considered for the drawing down below. And I will see you at another reading later on. Take care. Bye. Hey there, Pile 2. If you chose the Green Aventurine Heart Chakra Stone, or just the Pile 2, this is your reading for what needs to be revealed to you that has been kind of hidden. This is something that Spirit wants to reveal to you. And we are going to use the Antique Anatomy Tarot. I've also pulled some additional oracle cards too. So let's get into this one. Put this in my little chakra bowl over here. So for your first card, we have Friendship. And then I'm also going to use the Enchanted Map. And we have Coming to Life. Okay. Well, that sounds lovely. So for the Friendship card, it says, I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. And if you've never heard that saying, people enter your life sometimes for a season. There's a reason. I can't remember exactly how it goes. I'm terrible with quotes, just so you're aware. But pretty much this card is the belief that all humans are created from the same source. But there are some souls, and sometimes you can call it like a soul family, that share like a very unique kinship. And friendship can be one of those most beautiful experiences on earth, but it can also be extremely frustrating and heartbreaking. And it's the understanding that everybody who comes your way, every person on your path is here to teach you something. And it may be a year, or it could be a lifetime. And you know, over the course of time, when it comes to friendship, there's obviously various lessons that get taught, you know, back and forth. And sometimes bonds of friendship are even stronger than family. So, you know, this, if you have been waiting for a friendship, or just wanting, putting your vibes out there that you want a solid, trusting friendship and foundation, this might be the pile that you are looking for. And then we have the Coming to Life card, and the Coming to Life card has to do with beautiful things being born into your life. So, you know, when you look at your life, can you see, do you pay attention to how much you've grown and how much you've evolved over time? You know, how many skins you've shed, how many identities you've gone through and created new ones, or, you know, just matured in your ideas about yourself and just even about the world, you know, right? And obviously these things take time, and the timetable that spirit and the universe have is is rarely in sync with yours, right? It's funny. But this card particularly indicates that a very long held dream is starting to show signs of life. So it's pretty much saying, like, there's no way you can force this or shape it to your desires. Spirit and source knows the best way for it to manifest into your life. And I do think that this is going to be coming in the form of a friendship. Now, this person more than likely has already entered your life. And this is going to really put you on a track to learn some very in-depth things about life and yourself, and just kind of add to your life journey, right? Okay, let's get some more information from the tarot. And I don't remember if I mentioned it before, but we are using the Antique Anatomy Tarot for this. Okay, I'm gonna put you to the side over here. Okay, Spirit, let us know, what is this friendship incoming? Lovers. Wow, this very well might be a romantic reading. Look at these cards flying. Anything else? Love potion. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, that was a lot all at once. Here we go. We have the Three of Cups. We have the Lovers. We have the, oh my gosh, just got absolutely pinched there. We have the Page of Wands. We have the Ten of Cups. Beautiful. The Moon. Okay. We also have the Nine of Wands. The Ten of Swords. Oh, here we go. The Two of Cups. And then we also have the Magician, and I feel like he is dead center. Okay, this is something that you've been trying to manifest for a very long time, and while this may end up being I don't want to call it a love reading, but this is very much a relationship reading, and relationships often bloom under the guise of a friendship. And so I ask for those of you who have been wishing for a partner, wishing for someone very special to enter your life, I just really get the sense that your prayers have been answered. You've been believing so strongly and really putting so much energy into this, and it looks like you've actually been doing a lot to make yourself a better person, in order to be that excellent partner that you want to, like, be an excellent partner to attract somebody of that worth. You know what I mean? Obviously the Magician is literally one of the most I would probably argue that it can be the most powerful card in the deck. This is really bridging the gap between the spirit realm and the physical realm, and this kind of energy really encourages you to become the architect of your own life, and that's what this is happening right now. With the Three of Cups, I think what I'm looking at here when it comes to the Three of Cups is, a core group of friends, a core group of solid people in which you put a lot of your trust in. This is your soul group. And remember, we were talking about coming to life and friendship when it comes to, sometimes being a part of that soul tribe or your soul family. True friendship is extraordinarily hard to find, but once you find it. Obviously, it's very much worth holding on to. And again, this doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. This could be romantic if that's what you've been wishing for. Otherwise, if you're just an extremely lonely person or you've just been wanting a solid, good foundation of friendship in your life instead of just being, by yourself, kind of the lonely warrior, day in and day out, just kind of on your own and wishing for a good core group of friends. This is kind of what I see happening for you. So take the romantic road if it resonates, take the friendship road as that resonates. We're going to just kind of cover both. But this, the Three of Cups has also a lot to do with celebrations. And this very well might be that you already have a core group of people who are going to be celebrating the fact that you have found someone amazing for a romantic. This also could mean that the person that you are trying to manifest in terms of either friendship or romantic is within your core group, and you just need to open your eyes to see it. But each person, when we talked about people coming into your life for a reason, each person is going to bring their own unique energy to the table. And the point is that this is going to be a very harmonious and very, it's going to blend. It's definitely going to blend together pretty nicely. So when it comes to, I'm like, where do I want to go first? Well, you know what? Let's stay on the World of Cups. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups here. And the Two of Cups is really, for you romantic side people, this is a union. Okay, this is a balanced and fair union to where, they build each other up rather than tear each other down. There's no competing. I just had that love is kind, love is gracious, love is not jealous, love is not blah, blah, blah. Again, I'm terrible at quotes. But this is kind of that embodiment of that passage. It's a biblical passage. And if you've been involved with someone, romantically, this is something to where sometimes it can signify soulmates. Okay. But it also can represent a close friendship or even like a business partnership. It's the coming together of mutual minds and in a very positive fashion. Okay. It's kind of just a very overwhelmingly positive level of reading here. But let's move to the Ten of Swords, because sometimes a lot of people look at it as like the ultimate like sadness or loss, and that is not how it's represented here. It doesn't have anything to do with you losing the battle. It's more of like an end of the cycle. This is the sign that I wanted to say the loneliness, but not all of you are lonely, but I'm sure there's handfuls of people who are, but the situation of being alone to where you've been wanting either romantic or just a solid supportive friendship is that cycle is coming to an actual end. Now, with that being said, we have the Ten of Wands here, and what I'm seeing is you're going to have to really pay attention to the burdens that you carry, because, if you've gone through really negative, crappy experiences when it comes to, and I'm sorry, it's the Nine of Wands, not the 10. You're going to have to let go of the really negative experiences. The Nine of Wands is that feeling that like, I can't do this. It's you're battle weary. You're so done and over everything because of what you just recently went through. But, this is the encouragement that time is over. You're going to have to embrace these new opportunities for this friendship, this love, this, this union as something, or see it for what it is and see how amazing it is, and really let these old patterns and old just let the past die. Nothing good is going to come from you holding on to the negativity when there's still all this kind of beauty that is in front of you. Okay. It also is a reminder that kind of, it's you standing your ground. Your determination and your inner strength are really going to be able to get through if there's any period of like confusion. So just, make sure that you take care of yourself and really get clear with your heart center. And what's really funny is that you guys chose the heart chakra. And, when it comes to love and friendships and everything, that's what this core stone is about. And the green aventurine is great for heart chakra work. So just saying, this is all kind of lining up really, really, like just lining up. It's just absolutely in alignment, right? So the lovers, let's go to the lovers. So, the lovers is kind of a mixed bag because, at first glance, sometimes it appears to be about romantic relationships, and that can totally be the case. But the main theme usually is choice. And when we're faced with choices, some of us use our intuition, some of us some of us use more logic. And, the lovers is asking you to bring together those two polarities. Okay. Choosing between those two options, choosing between any two options can always be scary, right? Keeping somebody in the friend zone or, moving forward and taking a risk with somebody who is a friend and turning it into a romantic attachment. There's always a balance, and there's always a pro and con, right? But in terms of making a decision, this card is going to assure you that, the one that you do choose is very much the one that you were meant to choose. So just kind of take all that worry and stress off of your shoulders, and just kind of ease into whatever your heart is telling you is drawing you to most. Okay. Now in terms of, love, this card can sometimes point to a very fulfilling relationship. Most of the time, this is indicative of romantic love, but it can obviously point to a relationship with others, friendships, also, even a relationship with yourself. So, just make sure you're making the healthy choices and living to the best of your ability and treating yourself and your partner or whoever this other person is as your equal, as you would treat yourself, right? Oh, let's see here. And let's see, who do I want to go to next? I'm like, do I want to go to the Page of Wands, or should I go with the 10 of Cups? Or, actually, I'm kind of thinking we go Moon. Well, let's do it. Yep. All right. The Moon. The Moon is kind of about things unseen. It's full of illusion and mystery, and it kind of sometimes leaves you feeling really unsure of what is real, especially since, if you think of like moonlight, things are just kind of cast in shadows, right? The moon turns up when you're trying to force answers that aren't ready to reveal themselves. So, the magician is here and you're really manifesting and you're pulling things along, but you can't force this to happen. You can just kind of go with the flow and put the energy out there, and it's going to return to you. We did kind of talk about, this not happening on your own timing. This is on like the universal timing, but I will say that for some reason, I do get the sense that this is coming in not fairly quick, but I would probably say I just got 3 to 6, and I don't know if that was 3 to 6 months or 3 to 6 weeks. I'm betting weeks. But it is pretty much letting you know that it's good for you to take, when it comes to the choices and determining which way you want to jump on this type of friendship or relationship. It has a lot to do with your subconscious and needing the time to process and really observe your feelings instead of deliberately acting on them right away, kind of like think before you leap type of situation. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're you're kind of in that love zone. But the Ten of Cups is here. It's a very, very, very positive card to receive, especially in this reading, because there's this very overwhelming sense of comfort and harmony surrounding you. And it's really manifesting in love and appreciation for the core things in your life that make you happy. Love, stability, having enough for yourself and ability, and having somebody with you to share it all with, right? So this is a futuristic card. It looks very, very bright in terms of relationships. So, it also has to do with any, past conflicts, things that you might have dealt with in previous relationship, previous friendships. Like, all that needs to go away. It's kind of washed clean, forgiven. And it's more about, unconditional love. It's comfort, it's harmony, it's prosperity. It's all those beautiful feelings. Okay. Now when it comes to the Page of Wands, I have a hard time with this because I'm not sure if this has to do with the person or you, or if we're just kind of looking at it very kind of in an open-ended fashion. I really think, how do I want to say this? I think that we could probably go any number of ways. It's a very optimistic person. It's somebody who's very charismatic, and kind of an open, free thinker. So part of it is that you are, what I would probably take away, here, let me do that, is, indicates that you're on kind of the verge of a great discovery. Like, you're going to achieve this. You're going to find out who this person is. And I really feel like they've been there for quite some time, and you're just going to see it with fresh eyes. You're kind of, there's a lot of enthusiasm and inspiration around this, and it's definitely encouraging you to take action. This is a very small but mighty card. But sometimes, this could, if it looks like it's in terms of the other person, I would probably say that this person that may be hinted at you in terms of romantic or the friendship is going to be a very passionate, strong person who's very magnetic, very charming. But I really do think this is more you. I think you need to trust that you are a very charismatic and capable person, and definitely an open-minded free thinker, or need to be when it comes to this. Yeah, while I'm at it, let's just get a couple more cards on either side of the Magician for some advice. And I just heard pull them out, not... I love that. We got the Nine of Cups, and we have the Hierophant. Okay, well, now what do we want to say about that? Obviously, the Nine of Cups is having more than enough, right? It's that I always think of the card of the regular Rider-Waite deck, where he's just like so content with himself. He's like this jolly kind of, I don't think he's fat, but he might be a fat man. He just has a lot of robes on. Jolly little man sitting in the middle with his little hands crossed, and he's just so happy with all these little cups behind him and everything like that. It's wish fulfillment, right? And that's what kind of is what coming in. I think this is just double reassurance. You have so many cups here. I'm so happy and just like overjoyed that this is happening for you. And really, number two is, you guys got to let me know down in the comments below if this is resonating with you, and who this is, and what this relationship is working out to be. But the Hierophant, it's one of the more traditional figures in the tarot, and it's kind of a strict one. The counterpart, the High Priestess, is really focused on like the power of intuition and that sort of thing. And this one is more focused on organized religion, set principles. But this Hierophant is also the spokesperson for the divine, right? So he's pretty much asking you, this card is reminding you that you need to search outside yourself for answers, because there's nothing wrong with asking for help and looking for expert with guidance. There's nothing wrong with, checking with others to kind of get their take on the situation. Remember when we talked about balancing the heart and also the logical? This is kind of like that as well. This is the logical side, where the other side is very heart driven. But with the Magician here, it's really, this person's over here creating the magic. You're pulling in something that is very much going to be your wish fulfillment, but it's also ushering in a new realm of practicality and being able to problem solve and see things for what they are. Okay. So if you are even remotely confused about any of this, definitely seek some sort of answers from somebody who can help you. Could be a religious leader, could be, everyday figures like friends who give good advice, teachers, mentors, anybody you trust. Okay. All right. Now that, I feel like, is all the messages we have. Okay. So we have passions. Don't be afraid to fail. Follow what makes your heart happy. Oh, that's just extra confirmation. And then we have number 3, I have charismatic. Expression comes naturally to you. You are very skilled at communicating your thoughts through conversation and creative pursuits. You are able to get others on board with your ideas. And I do think now, especially with that, maybe that's just extra confirmation that, this reading and this little guy over here is absolutely the embodiment of you, which is also telling you to be that open character. Don't be afraid to show your light, so to speak. Okay. Don't dim yourself, and definitely follow your heart. See what's making you happy, especially when it comes to these decisions and these people, friend or romantic, that are going to be entering your life very soon. Okay. All right. Well, that is everything I have for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. Definitely take a moment to like and subscribe and comment down below, especially subscribe and comment if you are interested in being entered into the random drawing for the items that I mentioned at the beginning in the intro of this video. So again, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. I hope this all goes well for you. I'll see you at your next reading. Take care. Bye. Hey, pile 3. I almost said hey everybody again. Hey pile 3, this is your reading if you chose the red jasper sacral chakra, try saying that very fast, pile 3 reading. Okay. All right. And we are going to use the everyday witch, and I also pulled some other oracle cards for overall energies and then spirit guide messages. Okay, so I'm gonna put this little guy with the rest of my little chakra buddies, and we are going to get right into it. We have doubt. I release the need to know all the answers. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we have a cleaning house. Okay, I'm like, which one do we want to go with first? Let's do cleaning house. This is a biggie. It's time to clear the clutter, essentially. It's time to make way for better things. When you see this card in a reading, it's usually time to declutter your life. Getting rid of unwanted things in like your physical home, just kind of purging, even emotionally. It could be relationships as well, just releasing what you no longer want or truly need. And just kind of also cleaning up unfinished business. Are there any thoughts or memories or emotional baggage that just kind of need to be swept from your mind? You really need to celebrate this in terms of like a spring cleaning way to kind of reset your soul. This is something that Spirit is wanting you to know. And then when it comes to, I'm sorry, my chair is so squeaky. I don't know what's going on with it. when it comes to doubt, like that is obviously pretty straightforward, but it's, it's natural, right? It's impossible for the human brain to comprehend all the mysteries of the universe, and we're only consciously aware of our three dimensions in being in the 3D for a reason. And I think, in my opinion, that is to learn to love without the full awareness of your connection with spirit and source. And everyone has their own personal path to their awareness or their understanding of how the universe works. And there's no right or wrong answer, as long as your goal is manifesting the energy of love and compassion, right? So this is letting you know that there are signposts right now. And I really do think that with this message being like, what is hidden from you that spirit wants you to see is kind of like a gentle poke, right? And if this resonates with you, or if any signposts that you happen to see along the way really resonate with you, follow it. Okay. It's kind of a thing to say, always be aware and mindful that the spirit guides are always putting things in your way, always putting things on your path. They want you to kind of declutter your mind from doubt, from disbelief, and being open, and having that energy to see what's in front of you and notice the signs. I think that's what they really want right now, is for you to notice the signs. Those are supposed to be over there. I didn't want to look at them. Sorry if you already saw them, but let's see here. Let's get into the tarot. I managed not to blow my candle out this time for once. Wahoo. One more. Okay, and you go up there. Okay, so Spirit, tell us more about what is this that we are going to be dealing with right now. Cleaning house, erasing doubt. What are we manifesting? What are we headed towards right now? That wanted to come, but it didn't really. Anything else? Okay, cool. Aha. Now it's making perfect sense. The tower is here. You got to get rid of something. You got to tear it down. You got to dismantle it. You got to get it out of here so that the new stuff can come in. Think of it as, think of it as tearing down an old and dusty, fallen apart house so that you can rebuild your dream home. Okay, think of it that way. Because, wow, we do have the 9 of Cups here. Rebuilding your dream home. We got a lot of cards. So let's go through this. Okay, so we have the 2 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, what is going on with your abundance right now? Because I'm thinking this has a lot to do with your stability. We have the Knight of Cups. We have the 10 of Wands. We have Justice. We have 5 of Pentacles. Yep. That total lack mentality. And then we have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands technically is right in the center of this reading right now. How do I want to do this? Can you guys see everything? I really hope so. I might just make sure. Yeah, you're good. Okay. All right. Now let's go through this in a very methodical fashion. Okay. So what we got here, we got the Tower. Okay, and a lot of people are scared of the Tower. I personally think it's one of the best cards in the tarot, just because it has a lot to do with things removing itself from your life that no longer serve you. It's definitely, depending on your time when you see this, this is might have already fallen down, and it's really cool. I love this particular card because this lady, instead of like the traditional tarot where it's like the tower's on fire and people are like throwing themselves out of it and just it looks like chaos and destruction, she has her little magic wand there. She's kind of looking back at you being like, yep, I did that. It's no longer serving me. I'm tearing it down to start anew. And, just if you really need to hear it, but life rarely runs smoothly, right? And there are sometimes when it seems like everything's crashing down around us. Jobs are lost, relationships implode. Sometimes we lose friendships that we treasured, and this is all just a part of life. And, as we all know, stuff happens. But sometimes that chaos and destruction has to occur to make room for something new and amazing. So it's really encouraging you to see the positive even in the worst situation, because you can survive this. In the midst of this, you can always ask yourself, what have I learned from this? Or, what new and positive things can I imagine coming from the removal of all of this that I didn't need or want in my life anyway? Whether you're starting your own tower moment or whether the universe did it for you, it doesn't matter. Something needed to leave because you are about to receive something big. Okay. Now, when we have the Two of Pentacles is kind of like the I don't know. It's kind of juggling. It's also kind of not knowing which way to jump. Okay. I think with this card, I'm looking at putting more balance in your life. And if balance is more of what you're looking for in your life, maybe you should check out pile number 1 as well. There might be additional messages for you there too, because I get the sense that pile 1 and 3 has a little bit of overlap. But it's pretty much asking you to shift your focus into a more fair approach. So if there's an area of your life that you are so heavily focused on, it's a detriment to yourself or others, this might be kind of like an indication that you may need to shift things around. Okay. And this is kind of what I'm seeing is probably that this is coming about, the tower moment is coming about because of this, right? So, and it's no coincidence that we have this at the beginning of the reading, because obviously if you're going to get things into balance, sometimes some things need to get torn down. But with the Three of Pentacles here, there's a decent amount of Pentacles here, but we're trying to get to the Nine of Cups. We're trying to get to that abundance and that clarity and that feeling that we're being divinely protected and taken care of, and just satisfaction with life. I mean, if you look at this chick over here, she's just sitting on the beach, just absolutely just basking in the sunlight and just as happy as all can get out. What we have on the other end of this is getting out of the Five of Pentacles energy, right? So this is kind of like being stuck in like a lack mentality. It's fives are about change and also sometimes loss or frustration. It's conflict, right? And this one sometimes tells you that you have the ability to pull yourself out of this. You're just not seeing what's in front of you. And I think that kind of goes with the Three of Pentacles, is that you're trying to do everything on your own, okay? With the Ten of Wands here, there is obviously a heavy burden that you are trying to accomplish. And maybe you are taking on too much in terms of forcing your hand or forcing the issue when it comes to purging things out of your life. All right. Because things are obviously trying to leave on its own. And maybe that also causes a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety, that you're carrying this burden. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to lose, if you've lost a job, oh my gosh, am I going to lose my house? Am I going to do this? What Justice is saying here is that there's like this karmic balance that is coming in, and that what is being owed to you is absolutely going to come into play. So if you have recently lost a job or lost a form of your stability that is kind of worrying you, and you're kind of have this heavy burden and living in this lack mentality where it's like, I don't know which way to go. This tower crumbled, and I just don't have the resources or the ideas to push me forward and get me through this. And I think that's kind of why the Ace of Wands is here too. But I'm getting ahead of myself. When it comes to, let's back up. When it comes to the Two of Pentacles, it's just encouraging you that it's going to be a balancing act. Okay, the balancing act is going to lead to this Tower moment where stuff is just going to have to leave. Now with and I'm just going to keep going, but with the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is an indication that you can get others involved in a very cooperative way, or maybe you can be the one that kind of organizes that. But either way, it's seeking out help. It's always a good thing, and it's usually a gift to be appreciated. And it has, when all things are falling down and you're kind of struggling with a heavy burden, who are the people that you reach out to, or who can you delegate certain things to make your life easier and put things into more balance? So I kind of got almost like a flash of like, if you're a mom, especially a working mom in a two-parent household where both parents work, sometimes, not always, there's one partner who takes more than their share of work. And whether it's, working the full-time job and also coming home and taking care of the home and the kids and everything and not having enough support, it's time to start restoring balance to yourself and really start delegating some duties to a supportive network or your partner or something, because this is not a sustainable thing. Okay, you're really taxing yourself. This is not sustainable. You really got to get out of it. Is there anything that you can do to bring more people to your side and really help do things more in a more productive and a more efficient way? Is kind of what it is. It's a collaboration card, it's all about collaboration. And I'm kind of struggling with this Knight of Cups guy, because when he usually shows up, sometimes it looks like you're dealing with somebody who has a lot of good intentions but not a lot of follow through. I would probably say that whoever this person is in your life right now, you have right to be a little cautious. Take a really good close look before you get pulled into the fantasy. This person is offering quite a bit to you, but sometimes when it comes to what's being offered, just be careful not to completely let your heart overrule your head. I'm seeing that, sometimes things are not as good as they seem, and you might be grasping at a lot of straws, especially since, things have kind of fallen apart and you're really kind of, if you feel like you're drowning, you're going to clutch at anything that you think is going to save you. And I think you really need to lend a critical eye towards a lot of scenarios and a lot of people who may be coming forward to say, hey, yeah, I totally got you, I'll help you, but do not have either your best interest at heart, or are somebody who will tell you all the things, but they're not somebody who you can rely on to actually get it done. Okay, so just be careful of that. But the good thing with this is we have the Ace of Wands kind of just smack in the middle at the center, right? And the Ace of Wands is about the universe giving you a boost. It's not missing the opportunity, because it's going to be full of absolute potential. The universe is pretty much offering you a gift, right? It could be creativity. It's definitely, success. It's abundance. It's being taken care of, and it's a lot of energy and possibilities that it holds, right? But however, this moment is kind of fleeting. Something is powerful, life-changing. You're going to have to really take advantage of all the opportunities that are in front of you, and being very alert so that you don't miss it when it gets there. This also could actually be symbolic of your own inner power, because, obviously, you should be channeling your strengths and energy in the most productive and positive ways possible. So, those two ways to go on that card too. We talked about the 10 of Wands, but then we can kind of touch base again with the Justice card. I think that with the Justice card, the overall, I love that she's here. The Justice card is like I said before, it's like sooner or later the universe is going to balance itself out, and sometimes not in the way you expect. So, with whatever, and I think it's so cool that they are literally kitty corner across from each other. It's like, here we go with the beginning, and here we come to the end. It's what goes around is going to come around, and sometimes things have to be obviously ripped to shreds in order for, like we talked about with the good things coming. I do think that the idea of karma in this sense is really simple, because you kind of, reap what you sow. But life, of course, hardly ever works out exactly that way. But, sooner or later things come back around full circle, right? So sometimes it has to do with like legal justice on occasion. I don't get the sense that there's some sort of legal matter going on right now, but if that's the case for some of you, that is actually a victory card, just so you know. It's more along the lines of signifying like fairness and truth and balance. So if you are asking for justice for what happened here, just know that the universe isn't going to play favorites or take sides. It's just, remember what you're putting out into the world. It's kind of like the universal law of attraction, right? So be careful what you're putting out into the world, because you're going to have to, it's going to come back, right? Make sure you're standing in your higher self, in your higher good, in your higher light, and really trust that the universe has your back and is taking care of you right now, that you are divinely protected. You're going to have to, with the cleaning house and the tower and the doubt, obviously this is what's being removed is going to cast a huge shadow of doubt. And if anything comes from these cards, it's pretty much telling you that try not to stress too much. You really are going to make it through this. However, when it comes to you seeking balance, it's going to be not a long road, but your thoughts and your actions are really going to play a strong role in your reality. Okay, is kind of what I'm saying. Let's get let's do 3 more cards before we pull your angel messages. I just want 3 to kind of wrap it up in terms of advice. So what's gonna come of this? Good. Okay, so strength. Oh, that's beautiful. We got the strength card, and well, let's get the other ones out first, and then we'll figure it out. What else? The Emperor. See, he showed up in pile 1. So like I said, if you're somebody who's seeking balance, and the Fool. Here we go. New journey. Wow, you got 3 major arcana all in the row for your advice. And that's a great wrap up. The Fool is new beginnings and not being afraid to leap forward. It's releasing all that doubt and all that, what I want to say, just being self-conscious and not trusting that you're gonna take this giant leap. It's a leap of faith, right? But it's the leap of faith is knowing that you're not gonna fall. That's the faith part. It doesn't, if you've been kind of hesitating on like the precipice of like a very big decision, or afraid of making that kind of choice that could like change everything, it's just letting you know that you need to listen to your gut and just your gut. That's what I'm saying. Listen to your gut and just do it. Because if you don't have faith in the universe and faith in your divine protection and the support that you are getting, then definitely have like absolute faith in yourself. So the Emperor, let's do him. This person's a king. They're very wise, experienced, always trying to do right. And I think that part, especially with the justice card in play here, is kind of like what we were talking about, putting out into the world what you wish to get back from it. So being able to stay in that high vibration, that high light, in order to achieve that balance is kind of you taking control of the situation, right? This person does nothing but think through first, right? But they're not afraid to take action if necessary. And this person isn't afraid to take that leap of faith. Okay. So it's funny that we have this all in a row, because obviously you're being encouraged to have a significant amount of strength, right? It's a reminder saying you're stronger than you think. It's definitely there to remind you of your own inner strength, and it's saying, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And while you feel maybe a little bit overwhelmed and uncertain at whatever you're facing, you're going to have the strength to triumph. And the strength card is going to lead you to taking control of the situation, being able to see things for what it is, be very strategic. And this is the logical side of you. And then here we go with the Fool, where it's the heart side of you. It's taking that leap of faith. You're listening to your gut, listening to your heart, and just flying off into the unknown, but knowing that you are protected and guided and loved. Okay? All right, let's see what we got here with the last ones. Oh, okay. So we got abundance, an inflow of money, love, or rewards. You are going to come into a period of abundance from this. This stuff that's removing from your life is leaving so that more abundance can come in. And it's really funny because the minute I saw the numbers 999, which is crazy. So you are definitely ending a cycle and coming into a period of prosperity. And let's not forget that you have the 9 of Cups here. Okay. And then we have I am protected. Oh, with the numbers 444. That's a beautiful spiritual affirmation that your spirit guides are around you. It says, trust your journey, trust the way your life unfolds, and trust that you are where you need to be at the present moment. I am protected. You are. Okay? All right, Pile 3, thank you so much for being here. Those are all the messages I have for you. Again, if you are interested in, if you listen to the intro and you're interested in entering the giveaway for the prizes I mentioned in the intro, definitely subscribe and then comment down below. Listen to the instructions. I'm also have it pinned in the comments, so we'll have that too. But thank you so much again for being here. I appreciate you guys. Let me know down in the comments how this worked for you. Take care. Bye.